Good evening, South Brunswick. It's Thursday, August 21st, 2025, and I'd like to welcome you to the meeting of the South Brunswick Board of Education and to call this meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Statement in advance notice. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10-4-6, also known as the Sunshine Law, was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting the interests is discussed or acted upon. The primary purpose is for board members to discuss and vote on board business. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the board secretary has caused notice to this meeting 48 hours prior, including date, time, and location, to be posted in the South Brunswick Public Library and board office, filed with the township clerk, and communicated to the Home News and the Star Ledger. It is also posted on the district website. Roll call, Mr. Pawlowski, please.
Ms. Julie Ferrara,
Present.
Ms. Alicia Khan,
Here.
Mr. Raja Krishna,
Here.
Mr. Mike Mitchell,
Here, present.
Mr. Rajesh Soni,
Here.
and to be sworn in this evening, Mr. Barry Nathanson. I did call Smitha. Oh, Dr. Smitha Raj.
Yeah.
Okay,
We have a quorum.
thank you. And now we'll have the approval of the agenda.
Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda? Dr. Raj? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes.
Thank you. Now we'll have the approval of the minutes, board minutes and executive minutes of June 19th, 2025. May I have a motion, please? So moved by Ms. Khan and seconded by Dr. Raj. All in favor?
I just have one, I think the executive minutes are a little very short, so the other ones are fine, the board meetings, the executive meeting, I don't approve.
If you need to review any executive minutes, you need to do those in the board office. We
Is
can't-
it like
we're not
physical or?
Yep, they're physical notes in the board
no,
office.
no digital?
We're not providing digital minutes for executive sessions. It's confidential minutes.
Is our policy dictating that?
Yep.
Okay, I'll review that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That it? Thank you. Now on to the administration of oath of office for Mr. Barry Nathanson.
Okay, Barry, if you want to move over to the podium.
Just a note, I think when I first did this, I didn't have to wear glasses.
Many moons ago.
Mr. Nathanson,
Yes,
you have your oath.
yes, I do.
Feel free to commence.
I, Barry Nathanson, do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and the governments established in the United States and the state under the authority of the people, so help me God. I, Barry Nathanson, do solemnly affirm that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all duties of the office according to the best of my ability, so help me God. I affirm and declare that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1.
Mr. Nathanson, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
You may come and take your seat. Thank you. And so on to the next item. Number 2, motion to move into executive session. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Township of South Brunswick hereby moves into an executive session in accordance with Sunshine Law, Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, NJSA 10-4-6 through 10-4-21 for the discussion of legal matters. Be it resolved that the discussion conducted in executive session can be disclosed to the public at such time as the matters have been resolved. Formal action may be taken at any meeting. May I have a motion to,
Just real quick before we take
Sure.
our motion, we are also having discussion with regards to personnel.
okay,
So we're gonna amend that motion, for legal matters and
and
personnel.
personnel.
Got a motion?
So moved.
Nathanson right out the gate.
There you go.
Second? Dr. Raj?
Yeah,
All right. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
Motion to reconvene. Mr. Krishna and seconded by Dr. Raj. All in favor? Aye, we are moving forward. At this time, before we continue, I'd like to announce that our President Hernandez and Vice President Karthik are not here because they're out of the area. So that accounts for their absence tonight. And the next item on the agenda is the report, item 3, the report of the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Scott Fetter.
All right, hold on one second for me. Hey, Reg, I'm gonna share something with you if you don't mind. Would you be able to throw it up there? All right, so I'll do my quick report. For number one, first of all, welcome everybody. Today is Mr. Mitchell's birthday. Let's wish him a happy birthday. Woo-hoo! And he is our acting president today. Thank you, Michael, for stepping up and doing that. This is your second meeting you've run or more?
Run 3.
3? All right, so 4th meeting. He knows what he's doing. Good stuff. We are going to have a student presentation a little bit. How are you here? No, hold on. No, hold on. All right, we got this. All right, I'm gonna go to the podium for a quick second. All right, so I'm leaving you with some good information. So this is a list of the top 50 schools that for SAT results in the state of New Jersey. Okay, it's up there. No, go back. Don't start moving on me yet, Reg. Now, here's the thing about this list. I'm going to share with you how I read the list, and I believe it is a non-biased review of the list. First of all, I believe this should happen by district, not by school, because it should be, we have one large school. We would technically be penalized if you broke it up and let other districts have individual schools, depending on the makeup of those schools. So let's look at the first one. Let's actually look at the first 8 schools on this list. Middlesex County Vocational, Monmouth County Vocational, Middlesex Vocational, Monmouth Vocational, Bergen Vocational, Union Vocational, Monmouth Vocational, Union Vocational. What that means is those schools only accept extremely high-performing 8th graders. They hand-pick their students. Good for them. My child was in one of those schools, so good for her too. But it is not a fair comparison to load your school and then say that, wow, look at that. They have higher SAT scores than a regular public school. So I would eliminate all vocational magnet schools, which means we start with number 1. The highest performing SAT school district in the state is Milburn with a 1382. Then let's look at 10, 11, 12. More magnet schools. Remove them. Let's see who number 2 is. West Windsor is now number 2, but West Windsor has 2 of them on there. So we're going to get rid of one of them, and we're only going to count the first one. So West Windsor's number 2. Number 3, Bergen County Vocational, nah. Monmouth County Vocational, nah. J.P. Stevens. Now, J.P. Stevens is half of the Edison School District. So I went and did a little legwork and found out that the other half, when you combine the 2, would not be higher than South Brunswick. So we're not counting them either. Morris County Vocational, no. Montgomery, we are finally at another regular old public high school. They count, what is that, number 3 or number 4? I forget. Number 19, Monmouth County Vocational, nope. Anna Vocational, nope. West Windsor, we already counted West Windsor once, we can't count them twice, that's not fair. Now we're at Livingston, yes, that counts. That's number 4. Princeton, Tenafly, Highland Park, go Highland Park. By the way, I shared this with Highland Park Superintendent, she's a friend of mine, and said, you cannot accept being number 25. You're definitely top 10. So I don't know if she used it or not, but this is the sheet I sent her. So Highland Park, I think, is number 7. Bernards is number 8. Northern Valley Regional, that is a regular high school. Number 9. Somerset Vocational, Bergen Vocational, South Brunswick, number 10. So, South Brunswick is a top 10 public school SAT winner. Congratulations. Now, I am open to anyone who would like to challenge my ways, but I believe that is actually fair. I believe that is fair. What I want to show you now is look at the school districts after us. If you know the state at all, Ridgewood, Glenridge, these are some of the highest, affluent areas in the state, Bergen County. Then you have Summit, Westfield, Mountain Lakes. If you know the area, these are all extremely wealthy areas. You're outperforming all of those areas on the SAT scores. Hopewell Valley, Robbinsville, Madison, Cresskill, Hillsborough. Again, be proud of our kids. They do great things. Be proud of our staff who helps them become great at what they do. And no, I am leaving you with a top 10 SAT school district. Thank you very much. Okay. And summer hours, I don't know why that's on here, but because it's almost done. We're almost done. We are open Monday through Friday starting this week, so we're open tomorrow, and we're open next week, Monday through Friday, and that is that. Before I introduce Hari, I do want to say I feel I'm leaving the district in a very good hands. Your admin team up here, your admin team, some from out there tonight, but your admin team in general, your staff. Lourdes came tonight, takes care of all of us, and we're leaving Dave to handle 2 jobs. Feeling good about that? How you feeling?
Awesome.
Good?
Yep.
Good? Didn't really leave you with much
Head's
choice
still
on that
spinning.
one. Head's still spinning? All right, we'll
Yep.
take it.
Taking it.
But I thank the district for allowing me to be here for 8 years. It's been a great ride. And I will end my report with a great thing. We have Hari Sriram, who's going to talk to us about, I don't know. But you're going to talk to us about that, right? All right. You're up.
So I'm not sure if my slides are pre-approved. So would it be okay if I sent them all to you guys before I start my presentation?
You can.
You can send them to, he's gonna email them to us?
I don't know. Do you want to send them to me and I'll forward them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent it to you.
All right, I'll forward them to them, but you can go ahead and get started.
Okay. An insight to the financial literacy at South Brunswick High School. So my name is Hari Sriram. I'm a rising senior at South Brunswick High School. And this June, I embarked on an independent research project trying to understand the financial, what influences the decisions that we make at South Brunswick High School. So in this journey, I discovered that there were various patterns, and I wanted to present them to you guys today. The first pattern that I observed today was that higher income students, as their income goes up, they are more confident in the decisions and the business decisions that they make. This is seen in the data point that I made, known as financial education confidence, which merges the student's course level, which could be AP, not taken academic honors, or AP, along with their confidence in scenario questions. The purpose of these questions is to help understand how well fit a student would be to make a financial decision in a certain context. So on the slides, you can see that as student income increases, their financial education confidence goes up. Additionally, another thing that that you can see is as income does increase, students are more influenced by peer and social media influences. This signifies that students are more vulnerable as their income increases. The next part I wanted to share with you guys was in demographics, and especially in ethnicity. So what I observed in different ethnicities was their spending, saving, and investing habits were very similar overall. My bad. What I found in different students of different ethnicities was that their financial education confidence was very similar overall. This shows that students in different households, despite their different cultures, they're all very well prepared and very well confident in making business decisions. But one thing that I found that was a disparage in it was that how they distribute and allocate their income. It's because certain races would prefer to spend more, and certain races might save more, some invest more. This shows that different families and cultures may prioritize different values in their household, which shows that different families that they prioritize different things. For example, I'm not sure if you guys can see the slides at the moment. So a certain statistic was African American households do save the most, which is at the highest, around 50% of their income, and they do invest well above average. And then Asian families are more balanced in their allocation of spending, which it's like very all like evened out and balanced. So the third and most important metric I wanted to present to you guys was the change in students' financial literacy in grade level. This is because students in grade 9 and as they go up, their financial education confidence increases by a lot. This is because in grade 9, students are around a 1.9, which could signify they're not well set to make that many strong financial decisions. But when they go to junior and senior year, they're very well prepared and can make a majority of the financial decisions. This stat, surprisingly, is due to South Brunswick High School's very strong personal financial management program, which is a graduation requirement here. This course boosts students' score from 1.5 to 2, and which is a huge improvement on the financial education confidence metric, as it shows that they can make a majority of their decisions. Additionally, I found that social media, their investing confidence also doubled. So students are more likely to engage in investing activities starting from senior year compared to freshman year. So now I know you guys might be wondering, what is the point of me presenting all of this and giving you guys all these statistics? This is because I want to share with you guys a discovery that I was able to see. As students increase in age level and in grade level, they are slowly learning they're becoming more financially literate and making better decisions. But this is only starting to peak during junior and senior year. My proposal, or what I feel like could improve South Brunswick, would be to allow students to be able to take courses like personal financial management from a younger age, before they start freshman year, so that they can carry these financial skills that we teach them that are so strong throughout high school. And along with, though they do have like different family cultures and values, which do influence the way they spend, if we can integrate our curriculum and the values that we teach in it, we can prepare them to be very successful in their high school. So now I want to know if you guys have any questions for me. Yes?
Hi, Hari, do you think that in junior and senior year, when students are able to work, it improves their understanding of financial responsibility? Or did you do any research on that?
So in my survey, I did not research how students' jobs would impact them, as I wanted to have the survey be as open as possible and more flexible to get the most average out information student to student. But I would agree that having a job would make students more responsible, as they're having a sense of what is their own money and how to spend it.
Thank you.
Just one quick one, Hari. So all the savings and spending percentage is listed there. Are they the pocket money that they receive, and from that they are saving, or what's the source of their money to even respond to those survey?
So the sources of their money is their allowance. So we tracked students of different allowance, and most of them, although there were slight variations, a majority of them were around the same amount, of around 50 to 100 a month-ish in total spending. So that is what I observed in their distribution of income.
Anyone else?
The mixed category, who does that refer to?
The mixed category was for people who are one or more races. So I didn't I didn't want to have too many categories on the survey so that students might be confused of this or that. So to reduce it, I just put a mixed category if students were one or more races.
Julia, the state just calls that multi-race, and it doesn't ever tell you what the multi-races are.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is that it?
All right. Thank you so much for doing this. Good job up there, and keep up the good work with that.
I would like to thank the board again and Mrs. G especially for giving me this opportunity, and all of you guys for letting me present my research to you guys. Thank you so much.
I think it's a great idea to maybe incorporate financial strategies in the middle school, especially 8th grade. Perhaps maybe it could be like a club or some kind of extracurricular activity that gets them involved in learning about their finances and things. So I agree with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much again.
All right. That's all my report.
Okay, thank you for your report. Thorough as usual. And we're gonna miss them. So on to the next item. Item number 4, board brief by our, it's the South Brunswick School District Study, Enrollment Increase and Budget Constraints, Impact on 2026-27 School Year, presented by Mr. Peter Ratine, Ms. Christina Vadosky, VC, and Mr. Rob Sears.
I don't even know if she can pronounce it, so
In your hands.
Got it. Good evening, Scott, David, members of the board. Thank you for having us here this evening. Thank you for the warm introduction. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Christina Vildostigi-Serra, better known as VC, and I'm the very proud principal of Constable Elementary School. I'm joined here this evening by my colleague and friend, Rob Sears. And Peter Atine can't be with us this evening. He very much looks forward to joining us next time. We'll be here pretty much monthly going forward, so you'll see plenty of him. This evening, we're gonna ask you to turn your attention, it's short, it's a brief update, so you should be comfortable where you are, but just turn your attention to the screen so we can give you a little bit of an update on what we've been up to since we were here last. Since our last board brief, which was I think in June, end of May or early June, we've continued studying the dual challenges of rising enrollment and the tightening budget. We are keeping the focus squarely on what's best for students, and tonight we're gonna give you a little bit of an update. Let's see, did that go? There you go. So the reason that we're engaged in this work is pretty straightforward, but we wanna make sure the why is at the front of what we do each time we come to you. The district's facing increasing enrollment from new construction, and at the same time, we are working within budget constraints. The heart of the matter is pretty simple. We cannot allow these challenges to compromise the quality of the education we give our students. Scott just showed you a good reason why. If there's ways for us to deliver a better outcome, better instructional opportunities, more equitable and efficient education, we're gonna do that. So that's the premise of the study and why we're doing all of this hard work. Let's see, there, oop. Okay. There we go. So we're gonna take a look at recent enrollment. Last year, our kindergarten class had 394 kiddos, and we had a graduating class of 674. That is down from a larger recent graduating class of 789. So if you're paying attention to the math there, it shows a clear pattern. The number of students who have been entering the system has been smaller than the number leaving. But when we account for new housing, as you can see on the right, that will change very quickly. See here, we're moving pretty slowly with this clicker. Oh, there you go. So our demographer study estimated that a little over 1,600 new students would enter our schools as a direct result of the residential developments. Importantly, 2/3 or more of the 3,100 new housing units are in the Brooks Crossing attendance area. That is concentrated growth, which has had a significant implication on our capacity, the planning, and hence the study. So while the construction was delayed from the original prediction of the demographer, likely due to the pandemic and other economic factors, it has started and it is coming to fruition very quickly.
All right, as you can see here, this is a map of South Brunswick and our attendance boundaries or zones for all of our schools in South Brunswick. In the top left corner, you can see that there are 8 new approved developments. We're also aware that more are on the way, but as of right now, there are 8 newly approved developments, and you can see there that 2/3 of those 3,177 units are located in the BC attendance zone, which is what VC just mentioned. Now, 3 of those 8 are actively being worked on and developed in multiple phases of development. And it's causing our district to having to, in a sense, redistrict already. And while this study is ongoing for now what feels like over a year, and it will continue until a recommendation to the board happens in the December, January of this upcoming school year, we're already actually redistricting actively. For example, the Henderson Square community, which is over near Henderson Road, those students that would be registering who are moving into those units in those properties, in those apartments, they normally would be going to Brunswick Acres, but we are actively redistricting them to Greenbrook. Our district is actively redistricting them to go to Greenbrook. Why? Because that's where there are seats, that's where there is space.
Let me just, we had a little recent correction.
Okay.
So we are the Henderson Road community. I forget, is it called American Properties?
American Properties is the Heritage South Brunswick, which is off of Shawks.
Okay, whichever the one is on Henderson,
Yep. Yep.
they are currently slated for Brunswick Acres.
Correct.
And we have, and the board is aware of this, we have closed, we're not wholesaling the whole group to Greenbrook now.
Okay.
We had to alter that. What we are doing is they're scheduled for Brunswick Acres. However, 2 grade levels are already closed at Brunswick Acres, if they come from that community. Those families and their siblings or not, that's a case by case, are being placed at Greenbrook. So the original plan already, to your point, had to be altered
Yeah.
and is being altered from the alteration. That was already altered.
As you can hear, what Scott's saying is that this work it's real time. It's happening in real time. Our communications and emails with Jill, our Director of Transportation, and now with David and the transition they are real time, these shifts. Just one other community that I'll mention is that the Heritage South Brunswick, which is the American Properties development company, that attendance boundary would normally have kids going from Monmouth Junction to north, but those kids will go to Monmouth Junction and south because that's where the space is. You've seen this picture before, but it's important that we continue to show it to you to help clarify for the public and the community, those watching, those here today, to just reiterate the fact that the current issue is it isn't the matter that we have a lack of seats, but of that the seats are being in the wrong places. And if we don't do anything, which we obviously are doing something, hence this study and our work and our update today, if we don't do it, some of our schools will be significantly overcrowded while others will not, leading to an inequitable educational experience, and we do not want that to happen. Okay, so long-term considerations. This is a new slide, and this is data that you'll recognize, but it's something that, in my opinion, has brought us to a pause, if you will. So while our committee, VC Peter and I, and working with Scott and a larger core team, while we've been focused on the planning for the new construction, it's important that as a community, we keep the long-term view so that we don't have to redo things again. It's important that we really take a look at this. So the new construction, while it certainly will bring the projected 1,600 new students, we also need to plan for what's happening with the real estate when the real estate market potentially turns and there's a turnover of the existing housing. So if you look up here, our highest recorded enrollment from the existing housing, this is not the new 8 developments, was in 2011 and 12 school year, and it was 9,036 students. That's the highest recorded enrollment. And I want to say that we did about a 25-year look back of data captured by the school district to bring this to you. The projected new students from the 8 new developments, from the demographer study, projects 1,600 students being added. Once that is taken into consideration, once all 8 developments are built and they're built out and all of those spaces are occupied with families. So next, I'm pressing the button. Oh, our current planning, looking at last year's 24-25 enrollment as a district, around 7,600 students. If we were to add our new housing or the projected incoming new students from the new housing and the new developments, that would put us beyond our highest peak that was in 2011 and 12. And this is where we really have to pause and take a breath. Because when you look at that 9,330 and you consider it, that's not including the potential turnover of the existing housing. And I'm gonna add one more thing, and VC mentioned this when we were just talking before. At the time of this 2011-12, which was the highest recorded to date in our school district, that did not include preschool students. So when you factor in these kind of 4 pillars here, it's a very real scenario that we would go beyond our capacity. But there's a question mark because we don't know that yet. These are all projections. So it is with sincere pause that our work not only looks long-term, but that the work we do considers the existing housing turnover as well. And that's very important that we kind of just spend a little time to articulate that it's not just about the new developments. It's also taking into consideration the existing housing when it does turn over. This slide might be familiar, but this is really just summarizing the current challenges, almost like how we kind of started off, which is we've been experiencing a steadily declining student enrollment over the past 5-10 years-ish, while also having a extremely challenging loss of state aid that has been debilitating. At the same time, we have these new developments shaping the landscape of our community. which will bring our enrollment up and will kind of force us to be very, very intentional about how we plan with our committee to make the most specific and great recommendation to the board. So we have to kind of pause and see what matters most here, because there's so many variables. So now let's talk about what we've been up to. Whoops. There we go.
Okay. So since June, we've been pretty busy and we have some exciting things to share. Perhaps the best PD I've had in a while, members of our core team, not just Peter, Rob, and myself, but other representatives joined us for 3 site visits. We spent about a half a day in each place, West Windsor, Hamilton, and East Brunswick, learning from the superintendents, the administrative teams, touring buildings, looking through plans, talking research, really learning from their experiences. So that's a lot of the data we've been synthesizing this summer to learn from the work of others. So really exciting work for those of us who got to attend, but also some great updates for you as we synthesize that and bring it here to South Brunswick. We had a community team meeting. Again, that's the larger stakeholder meeting, about 60 people that we did in early June. You can see that there on June 12th. A really fun day on July 15th spent with the UES team. For those of you who don't know UES, that stands for Upper Elementary School. We mentioned it last time we were here. It was the last time South Brunswick had a big sort of shift in how the grade levels are banded together. So that was the upper elementary back then. And so we met with staff, and that included teachers, secretaries, a wide range of folks. Scott came because he was actually involved in it at that time as well. We spent several hours together talking about the strengths and the challenges of that model, what it felt like to go through that process, both into it and out of it, and what we learned from that experience. So that built really nicely. If you remember last time, we mentioned that we had interviewed 3 different administrators who were present during that transition. So those 2 meetings sort of dovetailed nicely together. So in all, we spent 3 hours with 3 different administrators, half days in 3 of those districts, lots of community and core team meetings, plus that UES meeting. So we've really done a lot of stakeholder input that we can learn from. We also launched a website. There's a page on the district website to make sure that this work is captured and to be clear and transparent with the public. We are continuing now to build out some models. That includes a lot of work with Jill. As you can imagine, our director of transportation is pretty busy right now. She has a whole bunch of kiddos she needs to bus in just a few weeks. But hopefully in September and October, we'll be able to come to you with more details as we map this out. There's a lot of work going on behind the scenes trying to narrow to the most feasible models to build. And that includes some transition work with Scott and David. They have both been very tied to this work the whole time, just by nature of their existing roles and as superintendent and BA. So the transition's been very smooth, but we're gonna continue that over the next month or so to make sure that we're all rowing in the same direction. And we're excited for our next core and community team meetings, which will take place in September. And shortly after that, we'll be back to you with hopefully a lot more details and plans. So just a reminder of the timeline we showed you next time. We are on track. We are transitioning right now from our summer to fall work. So basically that's bringing us from sort of the information gathering, synthesizing stage to a lot of action. And so that's what the next phase of the study from fall through winter is going to entail. We promise to be back often. Our goal is to be in front of you monthly as this unfolds. In addition to that, in his new role, David Pulowski will give you updates behind the scenes as well, because we're going to be moving relatively quickly from here on out. This work is very complicated. It takes a lot of people to come together to really see what's best for kids and what we can afford, what we can fit. And we're looking at, again, the short term of how to manage the kids who are already arriving. We're looking at the near term of what to do with the new construction that we know is coming. And now we have to adjust a little more because we know that one day the market will turn. And people will either age out or will feel comfortable selling based on rates. And we don't want to put the district in a position that we have to do this again. in short term. So I hope you see the time that we're putting in and sort of the slowness of this initial build, the amount of data and research that went into the initial stages, as us trying to be really diligent and thoughtful, so that when we come to you, we come with something that is fair and appropriate and will sustain us for some period of time. So a lot going on in a very short amount of time in this district, but it's exciting work, it's fun work, and we appreciate you supporting it. So if you have any questions, we're happy to take them, or we can just come back to you in a month or so with more details.
Yeah, no, the question not exactly to you guys. I think, first of all, thank you for the update, very clear. The topic of ongoing or dynamic redistricting that Scott and team and David now are currently doing, I think the only comment or feedback I have is we be way more clear with our stakeholders, because sometimes what happens is their neighboring building kid might go to a school and they might be asked to go to another school. So just kind of be more clear why the process we are going through, so that there is no, it's like a PR type thing, right? We want to maintain our relationship better, because we don't want somebody jumping on Facebook and start saying, oh, that sounds kind of idiotic, why are we asked to do this, whereas others are. So I think it's better to have our stakeholder management up front, explaining why we are doing it, and also telling it will change in another couple of years again. So just kind of doing that more, it might take a little bit more effort, more talking, but that will hopefully save some heartburns later and other social media campaigns later. So that's just the input. I know we have exchanged notes on that, but that's something we want to be more proactive about on our stakeholder management part. That's it.
The final projected number, does it include preschool? I just wanted to clarify.
No.
Which number specifically were you speaking to? Let's go backwards.
That's our district.
The projected one.
Total capacity.
Oh,
Yes,
oh, okay.
yes, preschool, yes. We
Preschool.
again, rough estimates here.
Yeah,
The
it's
numbers
just a
are already
projection.
changing. I'll tell you, one of the challenges right at the building level, every summer, we watch kids come in and come out. And we never know what grade they're coming into or what grades they're going out from, and it's never what we need,
Yeah.
right? They arrive in the full grades and they leave in the low ones. So this is really complicated. Pre-K through 12th grade, we don't know, are the existing families gonna bring young families? Is the new housing all gonna bring? The numbers are really fluid, and that's why building the model is not as simple as it sounds.
It is
You really
complicated.
have to be nuanced, and we need to leave a little room on each side. And it takes many, many minds to come around and figure out what the estimate is there. But yes, preschool is very much a part of our family now. They're stuck
Yeah,
with us.
yeah.
So we wanna make sure that we have room for them
Included.
going
Okay.
forward, for
Okay.
sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Just one more clarification to that. So 9,723 is including pre-K, and the highest recorded enrollment, that probably doesn't include pre-K, right?
Yeah, and you know, again, I think we spoke to this once before at a community meeting. I can sort of describe it holistically now. The capacity is also a challenge to explain to folks, because when a demographer looks at a room, he looks at it differently than a construction worker, than a teacher, than a principal. The reality in our schools is that a room can't always hold what the capacity says. So an example is, we are now using many of our rooms for preschool. They have a max of 15 kids in a class. The capacity of the room might be 25, but if we need it for preschool, it's 15. Same with as our autism program grows, those classrooms might have 5 or 6 students in a room of a capacity of 30, but it's lower. So when we're doing a study, we can't really use the same formula. We have to actually go, which we're doing, school by school, map by map, looking at how many of these rooms would need to be allocated for preschool or for any of those special education classrooms I referenced. So sometimes I think we want to latch onto a number and a capacity and say that's it, but it's just so much more nuanced than that. And so for those of us who want kids and teachers to be successful in programs, we really need to make sure we're looking at those little pieces as well.
Anyone else? No? Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure. We'll be back.
Really appreciate the work that they put into this redistricting and making sure that we're ready when the enrollment goes up. I think sometimes when you're not directly involved or you're not on the inside and you're looking from the outside, things look differently from when you're on the inside, and people tend to, gauge things differently. But we appreciate the fact that you're working so hard, and we look forward to next month's report. So with that being said, we're over to item number 5, which is board committees and liaison reports. We did have one board committee that did meet, the Education Committee. Would you like to say something to the meeting?
Hi, good evening. The Education Committee did meet. We are still waiting for a chairperson for that committee. We've just recently reconfigured, but the focus of that meeting was on the student code of conducts, which are being approved this evening at tonight's board meeting.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Luckborn, for that brief report. I'd like to share with you a report from the ad hoc committee for the superintendent search. Briefly, the committee met with the search firm on August 4th to review potential candidate resumes. We will meet again as a committee on August 28th to finalize the first round of candidates to interview. The first round of interviews will take place on 3 dates, September 4th, 6th, and the 8th, with the entire board at that point. So just to give you a little blurb, and thanks to President Laura Hernandez for leaving this for me to share with you all. So she was very adamant about getting this information out because we want to be as transparent and open as possible and as this process continues as a board. So with that being said, that moves us over to, we don't have any old business and we don't have any new business. So that brings us to the consent agenda walkthrough by Mr. Pulowski.
All right. Good evening, everybody. We have a consent agenda this evening. It's a summertime agenda. You'll see some approvals, financials, transfers. We have a bills list, typical business office operations, non-public technology orders, nursing services, and non-public IDEA. We're approving our Chapter 92, 192, 193 agreements. We're approving allocations for our ESA funding, all of our titles, grants. We are approving our textbook purchase, some textbook purchases and related materials. We have the sale of buses, which I would just like to note were very positive for the school district. We sold some really old buses, took those funds and bought down our lease purchase for our new buses, which worked out well. We have a purchase over the bid limit for some services in our technology department. We have a not to exceed amount for our New Jersey ESC&J for our Delta T group that does nursing services for us. We're approving the appointment of urgent care for our services for drug testing. We're approving parent transportation contracts, which always help offset some costs with student transportation throughout the district for students with special needs. We're approving a professional development plan, the statement of assurances that go along with that plan. We have a option for highly effective educators for the 25-26 school year. We do have our code of conduct for student code of conduct for elementary, middle, and high school. We're approving a virtual remote instruction program. We're adopting our curriculum tonight, a Title IX coordinator. We're approving Mr. Edward Knapp, our new athletic director. We have, we're approving, I get to, part of my new role, I get to sit on the Educational Services Commission's board. I want to thank Mr. Fetter for that opportunity. It's going to be a wonderful experience. We're approving our interlocal agreement, and then we have our travel-related expenses, student field trips. We're approving our HIB reports and bullying reports. We have a sidebar agreement and a separation agreement, and we have our personnel at the end of the agenda. And that's your consent agenda for this evening. Quick questions, anyone? None? To the right? Let's
So,
go.
Couple of them. No, I think, so, okay, so for context and for audience, if they're viewing, we have a lot of back and forth, so most have been answered. Just one just more of a clarifying question, 1.14. We are awarding drug testing to an urgent care. And the question from me was, can health center do it for them? And you reverted that we don't do drug testing, so I just wanted to confirm that health center does not provide those services to take it on and absorb it.
Right, we broached that topic when we first started with the health center, and we were adamant that we did not want to send our participants, those who participate in our healthcare plan or our students to the health center for drug testing. Yeah. So they do not provide drug testing services.
So they do not, okay, so that becomes a moot point, perfect. Thank you.
You got it. Any others?
And, yeah, one more, 1.21.
Our curriculum, I think there's obviously a lot of work put forward by the leads on preparing, revising the curriculum. Just one area I find, and maybe it's a little bit of a question in education for myself, I believe we are introducing textbooks. Is still accurate?
We're not introducing new textbooks.
They're not new?
No, they're not new. Evelyn, did we? Right.
They're not new. What you are referring to, and I think I have something scheduled to go back out to you for the last set of questions. These are picture books and mentor texts that have been in our elementary curriculum for years, way before I got here. We're just moving them up because yes, they are based on a true story, but we're using it for a historical writing unit because it gives in kid-friendly language historical facts, and yes, they're based on real events, but it also takes liberty at looking at elements of writing a good fiction. So it's easy for our kids to see the dialogue and so on and so forth and use for that. And we have never had a problem with it, especially I think because it is that basic picture mentor text rather than a textbook. It is not a textbook. And so I think part of what I sent to you was the read aloud from YouTube, just so that you could see that we're not trying to make any statements at all. Okay. It is for the purpose of students understanding, outlining in a simple way so that they can apply to their own writing. That's it.
Okay. I have a couple of folks actually looking at my face and kind of seeing Julie was next, like, what are you talking of? So just for context, when I was reviewing, what I found was a couple of books were a little bit in controversy in a few other states, not in New Jersey, never in South Brunswick. So my question was, are these new textbooks? And she's confirming they're not new, they were always there. So then it becomes again a moot point. But my thought process was, if they are controversial, why do we want to invite controversy here? I would avoid it, but if we are already using it, then it's nothing new we are introducing, I guess. So
yes,
it's good.
It is, I know you sent from states, and that's why part of what I said to you was, we do have standards that we have to follow. And I do not have any options. In fact, we pick those specifically so that there are no controversial issues. It is not dense. I hear you. I'm just saying, we don't have any problems, Mr. Soni.
We want to keep it that way. That's
Yes.
why I'm reviewing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you both. Exhilarating conversation. Any other questions on the consent agenda? Good? All right, good on my right, good on my left? All right, let's have a roll call vote.
So you don't need a motion.
Or we need a motion and a roll call vote.
I'll move it.
Mr. Nathanson?
Krishna seconded.
Krishna.
Roll call, please.
Here we go. Ms. Julie Ferrara?
Accept.
Ms. Alicia Khan?
Yes.
Mr. Raja Krishna?
Yes.
Mr. Mike Mitchell?
Yes.
Mr. Barry Nathanson?
Yes.
Dr. Smitha Raj?
Yes.
Mr. Rajesh Soni?
Yes?
And my other two board members are absent. So our motion carries.
Okay, over to item number 10, which is public comments. The Board of Education recognizes the value of public comment on educational issues and the importance of allowing members of the public to express themselves on school matters of community interest. Complete copies of Policy 0167, which govern this portion of the meeting, are available to the public at the auditorium entrance, online, or by contacting the board office. To permit the fair and orderly expression of comments, we ask that participants are recognized by the presiding officer and preface comments by announcing his or her name, place of residence, and group affiliation if appropriate, and by completing the sign-in sheet, which is over on the podium. Please print legibly, or we may be unable to document your name for the permanent record. Each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes. No participant may speak more than once on the same topic. Mr. Pulowski will indicate when you have 15 seconds remaining. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members. No discussion between a participant and respondent shall extend the 3-minute time limit, with a total time limit of 1 hour. It is our plan to listen to each member of the public. Once all questions and comments from all members of the public are made, the Board of Education may respond via email or here at this place, in this presence, in the most timely fashion and efficient manner available. All questions and comments made will be noted. Are there any registered?
We have no registered
Registrations?
speakers.
Anyone from the audience would like to comment?
Nope. No,
No,
this
this
is for all.
is anything. Come on down.
58 seconds, so. There's no pen. There's no pen.
I put the pen up there. Somebody stole my, you know what it's,
Lisa, go ahead and get
Oh, is there
started.
one on the floor?
Lisa, we'll come back to the pen.
those redistricting folks, they
No, it
took
is
my
on the
pen.
I noticed it on the floor. I didn't put it there, but I.
It wasn't me. Lisa Garwood, South Brunswick, Princeton Walk. Scott, there's so many thank yous and appreciations that I would love to give you, but I only have 3 minutes. So here's a summary. On the evening before Snow Day last year, a group of special children were honoring you. You had them help you record the Snow Day message. I think you enjoyed it as much as they did. The joy you take in children is one reason you've led this district so successfully. You did it with love. So much of what you've done to improve our schools shows your deep knowledge, respect, and love of the classroom. You've truly known how to support our teachers. You bought us copy machines. You are, and I quote, not from me, always fair, never show bias towards or against anyone. It was also said that Scott, quote, always researched for facts before making decisions. During COVID, you demonstrated a deep commitment to protecting your staff, students, and their families through research. Scott was a New Jersey leader when clear directives weren't provided by the state. You wrote an open letter to our families and our staff that was so well regarded, it can still be found on a website for school nurses. When the state began to cut our funding, Scott went to Trenton and spoke at hearings about school funding formula. He was even interviewed by news and the press. You've always been clear in your decision-making, even when it wasn't popular, and explained with facts the process by which difficult decisions were made. You put together presentations for our community, which were given many times, live and virtually. We asked questions, especially about budget, and they were all answered repeatedly so that all community members always had the opportunity to be informed. Quote, his leadership has continued to shine through the fiscal challenges, from a teacher who wanted to remain anonymous. They're shy. Scott worked with township members, and the board to make sure all points of view were taken into account when hard decisions needed to be made. When thinking of the continuous and drastic challenges you've had to navigate, I can't imagine how you did it all so competently and with such dedication. You never lost sight of your priorities, no matter the pushback. You never lost the sense of fun and love for the children you're ultimately in charge of. I keep hearing the same comment from friends and old colleagues, quote, "The next superintendent has some large shoes to fill." That's for sure. I think if we find someone half as capable, we should consider ourselves lucky. Scott, many of us mourn your leaving. We know the enormity of what we're losing. On the other hand, we celebrate a retirement from South Brunswick that may well be the most deserved in our history. Thank you, Mr. Fetter, for all you've given and all you've done. I wish you nothing but joy in your retirement from South Brunswick.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for your comments.
I just think if Lisa has more, we can extend the 3 minutes.
I already did.
Wait a second, did you pay her for that?
Thank you, Lisa.
Oh.
Thank God.
Thank you.
Before you adjourn, can I?
Go for it.
Okay. I just want to thank you all for the warm welcome tonight. As I step back into my role on the school board, filling the seat of my longtime friend, Lisa Rogers. I'm grateful for the trust you've placed in me, and I want to express my sincere appreciation to the board for this opportunity. I pledge to work diligently, just as I have in the past, to support our district to ensure the best outcomes for our students and our communities. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Nathanson. Are there any further comments from the audience? Seeing none, we're going to move to the next item. Before we adjourn, once again, welcome back, Mr. Nathanson. We look forward to collaborating with you moving forward. The next Board of Education meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 7 p.m. We look forward to welcoming the return of our staff and students. Mr. Fetter, once again, we thank you for your commitment to South Brunswick schools. Any last words?
No, I think, no, it's a bittersweet, you know, I mean, this has been a great place for me. I've shared that before. 14 years of my career were here. It's meaningful outside of just my professional life. So I leave knowing it's in good hands. I know that we're gonna continue to do great things. And I encourage the board to keep staying the course and you know, maybe keep Rajesh to, you know, 3 questions a week, maybe. But actually, I will say, I think Rajesh shows the importance that, you know, board members getting involved and the importance of having community involved in school. And it's good work. And you have a lot of talent. Trust your talent. Trust the people up on this dais. Trust your principals. Trust your teachers. And let them do what they do. Take care of the kids. And the board's always has always done that while I'm here. And I hope you just continue with that path. So, best to all. Thank you again, Lisa.
All right, can I entertain a motion to adjourn? Moved by Dr. Raj, seconded by Mr. Soni. All in favor? Good night, South Brunswick, and go Vikings.